Hi, it's Ileana. So today I'm going to look at the mystery drones and how they are connected to DUMBS bases and black ops black site facilities. So the current map that we're looking at covers the United States, going from Seattle, Portland, Sacramento, San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego, starting from there, with underground tunnel systems and high-speed train stations and maglev trains, basically going to from those points that I just mentioned, then from Los Angeles to Amarillo, Denver, where the Colorado area is, Dallas, Houston, New Orleans, Atlanta, Jacobsville, then going to Greensboro, Washington, Cincinnati, St. Louis, Chicago, Detroit, Minneapolis, going all the way to Philadelphia, New York, and Boston. So those are all areas where these underground tunnel systems are linked, going to different underground bases and black ops facilities to do with military, scientific, medical research, reverse engineering of UFOs, crafts, man-made crafts, non-human origin crafts. And this is portions where some of these man-made drones come from that may be simulating UFO crafts and sentient living drones. So it's a mixture of things that's going on. Some of these mystery drones are lab-created, reverse-engineered technology that is man-made, and some of them are actually sentient, living, consciousness, non-human-made extraterrestrial drones that come from other dimensions. And I'm going to be presenting a remote viewing about that because there's two sides of the mystery drones, some man-made and some non-man-made. Today we're covering the man-made ones that come from the underground facilities. And near New York, Philadelphia, there are portal systems, and near Florida as well, natural ones and some man-made portal systems where energies are very intense. So also near Michigan, there's portal activity and stuff like that. So today I'm covering that, and this map is very precise because it was from the Rand Corporation, their 1970s plans to use the tunnel tube systems to build out these high-speed train locations and link everything together, and I think they did do that. And I covered this before in a previous session. So I'm having a closer look at this and what these underground, basically DUMBS bases and black ops site facilities look like. What do they look like? And where do these mystery drones launch from? So they can launch from underground facilities. There could be several of these mystery drones, anti-gravitic plasma-based crafts parked in underground hangars, and they're remote controlled and they can just launch from underground DUMBS bases or black ops facilities, black sites. They're pre-programmed, they can do reconnaissance, they can do surveillance, they have cloaking technology, some of them are plasma-based, what they're powered by. They can uncloak, cloak. That's how they can easily appear and disappear without the FAA being able to catch them or follow them or shoot them down. They have advanced technology, reverse engineered, but it's hard to tell what the difference is between the human reverse engineered man-made drones and the non-human ones, because some of the advanced technology can look similar to each other. So it's very interesting. And the underground DUMBS bases and black ops sites facilities, they have technology that has launching pads that can launch these drones, that can launch energetic weaponry systems and other things that is energy based, and you're not even going to see it coming when it hits somewhere because it's invisible energy frequency. But they do have that ability in launch pads to do that, and that's what some of this looks like in these underground facilities, and they're in remote places where people don't have access to that. You would have to have top clearance levels and be either scientists or military personnel working in black ops, top secret, scientific projects or military to be able to access any of this or see this in these bases. But that's what some of this looks like. And again, these crafts can launch from anywhere easily, from underground tunnel systems, bases, even from underwater, because they have different levels of ability. They can fly in the Earth's atmosphere, and they can also go underwater and traverse the water. So they have multiple levels of capabilities of what they can do underwater and in the Earth atmosphere and other planetary atmospheres and in space. So that's the capabilities people are seeing, and it's being recorded on cameras and video. And again, military black ops projects run these types of programs in underground facilities where anti-gravitic technologies, levitating, drones, crafts of different sizes, forms, and shapes. A lot of them look like the Tic Tacs, the saucer-shaped ones, or the cylindrical cigar-shaped ones. Those are typical. That was even outlined in the SOMI Majestic 12 documentation of these different craft forms and sizes. So it's interesting. The SOMI Majestic 12 documentation, it has these craft outlines and how they're powered. So I read that documentation, but this has been done for almost 100 years. These projects have been in the works and have been facilitated. And this is what it looks like. Again, there's these anti-gravitic hover cars or hover transport systems that you can just get into, and it will send you where you need to go on the base. It hovers, it floats, it levitates. There's transport vehicles, there's hover cars, smaller ones, larger ones that transport supplies to the underground bases. Everything is linked by tunnel systems. So everything is interconnected all over Earth, all over the planet underground. So you have these systems and networks linked together that military personnel use with these hover cars and transport vehicles to just go where they need to be for where they're stationed for work. You don't need huge airplanes being parked underground because you have other transport vehicles, anti-gravitic ones. Maybe somebody is flown in, like to Area 51 by different airplanes that park on the surface, but then you go underground and there's different hover vehicles that transport you through the tunnel systems. So it's a whole set of other mechanisms at play here that takes place. And there's all kinds of underground buildings, facilities, crafts, maintenance, R&D, research and development, science, medical. They have their own cities underground. And some of these facilities even have portal technology that can transport crafts and personnel and crew to different locations on Earth and to other planets even, and supplies. So they've been able to do that since the 1980s. Master plasmatic portal travel and teleportation. And these crafts can take you to different locations within an hour to a different planet, or like 30, 20 minutes to a different location, underground, on Earth, underwater, on the surface. So travel, space travel, and anti-gravitic technology, it's being done every day. That's normal. And sometimes artifacts of extraterrestrial craft have been found, so deeper in the earth or underwater locations, then it's it's retrieved by these military crews or teams or science crews. It's retrieved and goes into the Black Ops underground facilities to be studied and reverse engineered for how the technology works. From ancient civilizations from Earth, from Atlantean technology to off-world civilizations, from other planets of something that's crashed or been deposited on Earth for specific reasons to be later found by Earth civilizations as we progress and evolve. These things, they all have a time and a place for when these things are found and retrieved, and why. When they can be reverse engineered, when the technology is here for the meta sciences. And we're at this point where our science is good enough to figure out how these types of non-human crafts fly and reverse engineer them so human beings can actually fly that stuff, or it's remotely controlled. That's where some of this drone technology has evolved from in these underground facilities, and it's been launched and tested to see how people react to it and how it works. So it's a very interesting field of science that's done in these underground facilities and what's explored there. And this is what some of the tunnel boring machines look like as they bore through the underground dirt and debris and liquefy all that stuff, and it becomes liquefied and it's solid tunnel systems. Like, these boring machines just remove the dirt, remove everything, liquefy it, and you have ready-made tunnel systems to set up bases, to set up research facilities, reverse engineering programs. Everything is deep underground. You're protected from nuclear attacks, radiation, any type of other attacks that are more biological based. Nothing's going to hit you underground. You have your own pure water sources. You have your own nuclear powered or fusion powered plants to keep your facilities running, pure air, pure water, pure gravity. Everything is taken care of in these underground bases, and there could be like even huge cities built to sustain human civilization. And they have DNA banks, genetic banks, they have plant banks. Everything is backed up so that it could be replicated if something happens on the surface of Earth, on the planet. Everything is backed up to restart civilization if you need to. And there are certain types of managers, generals, science people in these R&D facilities who are working on plasma technology, on launching spheres that observe what's happening on the surface of the planet. And it's starting to become a consciousness-based technology that brings back pieces of reality. What it sees, what it learns and studies, goes back into the lab, and all of that is observed, recorded. How human consciousness is evolving. Like, in these secret research facilities, humans are studying humans with sphere plasma technology. It's kind of like Why would you do that? Because observing humanity by humanity is something that's done in these secret programs, underground facilities. They want to observe humans when humans are at their natural state of being. So you can't fake your reactions, you cannot change how you feel. These types of spheres, they observe human behavior and evolution, and they learn from that, and they become living sentience consciousness technology. So that's being developed, and there are scientists and medical and military personnel that do this kind of work, secret work in these labs, underground facilities, and they develop these sentient consciousness drones to do this work. And then it comes back and reports everything it records, so then it has its own consciousness. And that's how it learns and evolves as well, and becomes better technology, I guess, of consciousness evolution. And there's, again, all kinds of different transport vehicles in these underground facilities that transport crew, people, personnel to different locations and different bases on Earth and off-world. So they have their own linked systems of travel. Anti-gravitic, high-speed trains, maglev trains, transport vehicles. They have that all set up and it works. They've had plenty of time to build out these facilities properly to work well with the recycled air, water, heat, gravity, propulsion systems. Everything is taken care of, so you can live comfortably in these facilities because they've been built out quite successfully. And there's, of course, surveillance with cameras. Sometimes things are guarded on different levels of security, and there's tanks that go through the tunnel systems, security guards. Everything is guarded and protected heavily. The secured classified underground facilities. There are heavy-duty security systems guarding that stuff underground, including tanks that are, patrol constantly to make sure there's no intruders or there's no hacking of the systems or interference by other powers, I guess, like adversarial countries and stuff. So everything is monitored in these U.S. underground facilities. High-level security, and there's maglev trains, that high-speed trains, maglev trains, and even anti-gravitic trains that levitate in the rail systems. So it's pretty interesting. Different systems running through the tunnels. And again, everything is linked up between the different underground bases, DUMBS, black sites. Everything is very much controlled, and all the environments are built out so you can live there for hundreds and thousands of years comfortably if something happened on the surface, or if they want to do classified military research, medical, scientific, that's all underground. Same with Lockheed Martin, reverse engineering programs, Northrop Grumman, that's all underground. Most of the stuff, Lockheed, Palmdale Plant 42, some of it is in the plant itself, but mostly it's all underground. And that's linked in the map. And you can see how things are interconnected through the tunnels. So this is like, they build out these huge bases underground, either round, rectangular, whichever form fits best for the facility, that's what they do. Specifically, it can be custom designed, whatever form you need. It could be 3D printed, replicated, or built from natural materials, whatever is underground, or whatever is brought in through the tunnel systems as building materials that they can build out easily. And they can do different types of remote bases near mountains, inside mountains, under the sea, the water. There's no limit how deep you can go under the earth, because the boring machines can dig and remove the dirt and liquefy everything to make it into solid tunnel systems and solid areas. Whatever is custom needed, those boring machines can provide those specs. They can be programmed to specification of creating either round stuff underground, rectangular rooms, huge dig outs where bases are built, cities are built. That's all easily done now and has been done for a long time. And they can also build surface facilities that are well guarded and protected. So I just wanted to show what this all looks like and how it's done. Thank you so much.